Have you ever noticed that something just feels off lately? You're not as steady on your feet. You wake up tired. There's a strange numbness in your lower body, or a heaviness that wasn't there before. And somewhere deep down, you've started to wonder, is this just what getting older feels like? Well, I have some news for you. And it's not what you think. Because for many older adults, men and women, what feels like aging might not be aging at all. It could be your breakfast. My name is Dr. Samuel Hargrove. I've spent over 30 years in the field of urology and geriatric wellness, working with seniors across the country to reclaim their energy, mobility, and dignity. And today, I want to let you in on something that most people, even many doctors, overlook entirely. You see, the foods we choose in the first hour after waking up can either boost blood flow to the muscles and vessels in the lower half of the body, or quietly shut it down. And over time, that single choice becomes the difference between strength and frailty, between feeling capable or slowly slipping into dependency. That's why in today's video, I'm going to walk you through 5 powerful breakfast foods that have the ability to restore circulation to your legs, hips, and core muscles, areas critical to balance, vitality, and intimacy. Now here's the catch. These are not strange superfoods or supplements. You probably have them in your kitchen already. But almost no one uses them in the right way, or at the right time, to truly unlock their benefits. So I'll show you exactly how to do that. No gimmicks. No medications. Just nature, timing, and the wisdom of thousands of older adults who have turned things around, starting with their morning plate. And if you stay with me to the end of this video, I'll share a special combination recipe, a simple morning mix that many of my patients have used to see noticeable improvement in less than a week. More energy, better circulation, and that grounded feeling of being in control again. But before we jump in, let me ask you something. What's one small thing you've done today to take care of your health? Maybe you took a walk. Maybe you chose water over soda. Maybe you simply decided to sit down and learn something new, like you're doing right now. Whatever it is, share it in the comments below. I'd love to read it. This community is filled with strong, thoughtful, experienced people, and your story may just be the one that encourages someone else to keep going. And if you haven't done anything for your health today yet, don't worry. Just type 0 in the comments. That's your first step. Your way of saying, I'm still here. I'm still trying. And that's more than enough. Let's walk this road together, one better morning at a time. So hit that subscribe button if you haven't, and turn on the bell so I can keep bringing you more simple, science-based ways to stay strong through every season of life. We're not done yet. Far from it. Now let's begin, starting with a food you've probably overlooked for far too long. It may seem simple, but when used intentionally, it has the power to restore circulation, rebuild lower body muscle strength, and reignite energy in ways that surprise even the most skeptical. We're talking about a warm bowl of quinoa and almonds, what I often call artery cleaning protein. Whenever an older adult comes into my office, man or woman, and mentions feeling sluggish, stiff, or disconnected from their body, I ask one unexpected question. What are you eating for breakfast? And more often than not, I get a half-hearted chuckle, followed by, oh, just some coffee and maybe toast if I remember. That's where we begin the shift. Because quinoa, especially when warmed and combined with specific nuts and spices, becomes a powerful tool to fight back against age-related circulatory decline. It's rich in magnesium and fiber, both proven to support blood vessel flexibility and promote healthy blood flow. These nutrients help open up the highways in your body, sending blood, oxygen, and energy where it's needed most, your legs, your pelvic muscles, and your heart. Add almonds to the mix, and things really start to change. Almonds are packed with healthy fats, vitamin E, and antioxidants that calm inflammation and relax blood vessels, making it easier for blood to flow, especially to the lower half of the body. This kind of circulation boost is not just helpful, it's essential for anyone over 60 who wants to stay strong, stable, and confident in every area of life. I remember Robert, age 69. He came to see me after noticing a slow but steady decline since retiring. He was constantly tired. Climbing stairs wore him out. His relationship had gone quiet. So I asked him to try something different, replace his sugary cereal with a warm bowl of quinoa, sprinkle in almonds, a few blueberries, and just a pinch of turmeric. 2 weeks later, he came back smiling. His legs felt lighter. He was sleeping better. And most importantly, he felt more alert, more alive, and more himself again. It's just quinoa, he joked. But we both knew it was more than that. It was a signal to his body that it wasn't time to slow down, not yet. Now, onto the second food, one that's been sitting in your fridge for years, yet most people have no idea how powerful it truly is when used properly. I'm talking about plain, unsweetened yogurt. Yes, the simple kind, nothing fancy, nothing flavored. But when eaten at the right time, this humble food becomes a natural circulation enhancer, especially for the lower body. So why yogurt? Because it brings together three powerful elements: protein, calcium, and probiotics. Protein and calcium strengthen the pelvic floor muscles, crucial for maintaining balance, bladder control, and for men, healthy performance. Meanwhile, probiotics help reduce inflammation, one of the sneakiest causes of blood vessel narrowing and muscle fatigue as we age. As the years go by, blood flow tends to slow. And the muscles? They're usually the first to feel the effects. But here's the encouraging part. When you nourish those muscles with the right ingredients, especially first thing in the morning, your body knows how to respond. You may notice fewer leg cramps, less tingling, and yes, better confidence and performance in intimate situations, too. All because blood is flowing again. Muscles are responding. And you're no longer just letting time take from you, you're building back. One of my patients, James, was 65 when he told me he hadn't experienced a natural morning erection in over 2 years. I recommended something simple: swap out his processed breakfast with a bowl of plain yogurt, topped with just a touch of honey. 4 weeks later, he called me. His voice was almost laughing. I woke up feeling like I was 40 again, he said. And I believed him. Because when you give your body what it truly needs, at the right time, it can surprise you with what it still remembers how to do. Now, if you're still with me, I have one more thing to share. There's a certain fruit, often overlooked, that works like a natural circulatory amplifier. No side effects. No prescriptions. And when combined with the two foods we just discussed, it creates a morning routine that has changed the lives of many. Let me show you what that fruit is, and exactly how to use it. Because you deserve to start each day with more strength, more clarity, and a body that works for you, not against you. Now, let's move on to what I call the most underestimated fruit in circulation medicine. It's sweet. It's vibrant. And yet, most people only associate it with fancy parties or decorative salads. I'm talking about pomegranate, the third powerhouse on our list. I'll never forget the look on my patient Michael's face when I suggested he start eating pomegranate in the morning. He was 63 at the time, and he chuckled, "Doc, I always thought pomegranate was just some luxury snack they serve at weddings." But what Michael didn't know, what many people don't know, is that pomegranate is one of the most potent natural tools for restoring blood flow, especially in the body's most sensitive areas. Pomegranates are packed with polyphenol, powerful antioxidants that trigger the body to produce more nitric oxide, a molecule responsible for expanding blood vessels and improving circulation, particularly in the lower half of the body. In fact, this is the exact same biological pathway targeted by popular erectile dysfunction medications. But here's the difference: pomegranates do it naturally, without side effects, without prescriptions, and without disrupting your body's own rhythm. And it works faster than you might think. Some of my patients have reported noticeable improvements in sensitivity and morning firmness in as little as 1 week after adding pomegranate to their routine. Why? Because you're fueling your biology, not fighting it. You're working with your body, not against it. Michael called me 2 weeks after starting his new breakfast habit. He said, "I don't know if it's the pomegranate or the fact I'm finally eating breakfast seriously, but Doc, something down there is waking up again." We both laughed, but we knew it was real. His lower body wasn't shutting down from age, it was responding to polyphenol, doing what it was built to do all along. Here's my advice. Eat pomegranate on an empty stomach or just before breakfast for maximum effect. Just a handful of seeds or a small glass of pure, unsweetened juice is enough. And remember, fresh is best. Avoid added sugars or blends that dilute its natural power. If you're searching for a natural way to restore energy, vitality, and confidence in your lower body, pomegranate might just be the missing piece. But if you're truly aiming to stabilize morning energy, restore bodily balance, and prepare your entire lower half for the day ahead, then you shouldn't overlook this next food. It's creamy. It's versatile. And when paired with the right kind of fat, it becomes one of the most powerful breakfasts I've ever recommended. I'm talking about avocado drizzled with olive oil, what I call circulation stabilizer number 1. Now, I've given a lot of advice in my years of practice, but this suggestion surprises more people than almost anything else. Wait, avocado helps with blood flow, they ask. Yes, it does, if you understand when and how to use it. You see, if your body stays fasted for too long in the morning, key muscles, like those in your legs, pelvis, and yes, even intimate areas, can remain underactive. To function well, blood vessels need nourishment, muscles need energy, and your nervous system needs equilibrium. And what the lower body often craves after a long night of rest is something surprisingly simple. Half an avocado, mashed, and topped with a drizzle of cold-pressed extra virgin olive oil. Here's why this works. The monounsaturated fats in avocado help preserve artery elasticity. The potassium supports blood pressure balance. And when you add olive oil, rich in anti-inflammatory compounds and antioxidants, you're giving your body the tools it needs to boost circulation, support nerve sensitivity, and maintain muscle function. These nutrients directly support muscle contraction, nerve firing, and the vascular strength needed to keep you steady, mobile, and yes, confident. I once worked with a man named William, 72 years old. Every morning, he woke up feeling stiff and sore in his lower body, particularly around his groin. He tried stretching, massages, even prescription medications, nothing worked. I made one simple suggestion. Alongside his normal breakfast, drink a glass of warm water and eat half an avocado topped with olive oil. Just 3 days later, William called me. "Doc," he said, "I don't know what kind of magic this is, but I can get up from a chair without grabbing the table now." He was genuinely stunned. Because for years, he thought his symptoms were just part of aging. But in truth, he was simply underfueling the most vital systems in his body. Food your body understands, real food, can bring balance back from within. Avocados might look ordinary, but when used with intention, they quietly restore blood flow, rebalance your inner chemistry, and power every step you take. Now we arrive at the final chapter in this story. You've learned 4 foods that support circulation, rebuild strength, and restore vitality. But there's still one more piece to this puzzle. Because knowledge without action doesn't change anything. And the food we're about to talk about? It's often forgotten, but it may be the most important one of all. Let's keep going. We've arrived at the final food on our list. And while the first 4 restore circulation, muscle tone, and vitality, this one does something quietly powerful. It nourishes the nerves. It protects the brain. And it builds the kind of deep, lasting energy that doesn't spike and crash, but steadies you, morning to night. Meet the humble blackberry, what I often call the berry of endurance. Most people walk right past them in the grocery aisle, unaware that inside their dark skin lies a cocktail of compounds designed by nature to protect aging bodies. Blackberries are rich in anthocyanins, the same deep purple pigments found in blueberries and red grapes. But blackberries go a step further. They contain a unique mix of vitamin K, vitamin C, fiber, and manganese, a combination that supports healthy blood vessels, balanced blood sugar, improved memory and focus, And most critically, nerve responsiveness. Why does this matter? Because circulation alone isn't enough. You can send all the blood you want to your muscles and lower body, but if the nerves aren't sensing, reacting, and communicating, the system still falters. And as we age, the nervous system is one of the first to show signs of decline, slower reaction times, reduced sensitivity, and that dull, lingering fatigue that coffee can't fix. But here's the good news. Foods like blackberries contain polyphenol and micronutrients that actually help preserve nerve insulation, reduce inflammation, and keep your neurological pathways open and alive. In simpler terms, blackberries help you feel more like yourself. More present. More responsive. More steady on your feet. I once worked with a retired schoolteacher named Grace, 71 years old. She didn't come to me for anything dramatic. She just said, "I feel like the lights are dimming a little. Like my body's still here, but it's moving through fog." I smiled because I knew exactly what she meant. I asked her to try something simple. Each morning, alongside her breakfast, she'd eat a small bowl of fresh blackberries. Nothing else changed. A few weeks later, she came back with a lightness in her step and said, "I don't know how to explain it. I feel awake again. Not just in my mind. In my body, too." And that's the power of the fifth food. It doesn't shout. It doesn't promise miracles. But it quietly restores connection between mind, body, and spirit. How to use it? Just a handful of fresh or frozen blackberries each morning is all it takes. You can add them to oatmeal, stir them into yogurt, or simply enjoy them as they are, tart, sweet, and full of life. Avoid blackberry-flavored products with added sugars. They cancel out the benefits. What your body needs is the real fruit, in its simplest form. Because the truth is, aging doesn't have to mean fading. Not when your food is chosen with care. Not when each morning becomes a chance to rebuild, to replenish, to reconnect. Before we say goodbye, let me tell you about someone I'll never forget. His name was Harold. He was 74 when he came to see me. A retired train conductor, widowed for nearly a decade. He lived alone in a quiet house at the end of a gravel road, just outside of town. When he walked into my office, he didn't complain of pain or disease. He just said softly, "Doc, I can't make it to the mailbox anymore without stopping to catch my breath." Now, this mailbox? It was maybe 100 feet from his front porch. But for Harold, those 100 feet had become a mountain. His legs ached. His hips felt stiff. And worst of all, he said, "I feel like my body's letting go before I'm ready." We ran tests. Nothing catastrophic. Just age. Circulation slowing. Muscles weakening. Nervous system dulled. In other words, the usual. But here's the thing. Harold didn't want a miracle. He didn't want a prescription. He just wanted a plan. Something to do. Something he could control. So I asked him to start with breakfast. No sugar bombs. No coffee-only mornings. Instead, I asked him to choose just 2 things from the list you've learned in this video, whichever felt easiest to begin. He chose pomegranate juice and warm quinoa with almonds. The first week was hard, he admitted. He felt silly. "I'm not some Hollywood health guru," he told me over the phone. But then something shifted. By week 3, Harold called again. There was pride in his voice. And a hint of disbelief. "I made it to the mailbox today," he said. No stops. No gasping. Just walked out there, grabbed the mail, and came back like I used to. And then he paused. "It's not just a mailbox," he said quietly. "It's me. I feel like I'm coming back." That's what this is really about, isn't it? Not chasing youth, but returning to yourself. Rebuilding the connection between body and spirit. Not to do something spectacular, but something simple, like walking to the mailbox, with dignity and ease. You're not too old. You're not too late. Your body still remembers how to respond. It just needs the right invitation. And that invitation can begin tomorrow morning on your plate. So now I turn it over to you. What's one thing you can do today to nourish the body that's carried you through a lifetime? If this video offered you something helpful, an idea, a reminder, or even just a little hope, please consider doing 3 simple things. Like this video to let us know you're here. Share it with a friend or loved one who might be silently struggling like Harold once was. And subscribe so you don't miss more stories, insights, and real tools for thriving beyond 60. Together, we're building more than a YouTube channel. We're building a community, one where age is honored, wisdom is shared, and every sunrise brings a new chance to grow stronger. Thank you for being here. I'm grateful for your time. And I can't wait to see you in the next video.